Hey guys, welcome to With Nyasha Michelle, but it is not the podcast as you know it. We have something a little bit different called What Nyasha Thinks. Honestly, guys, I don't want to be imposing my opinions on you, but it is a way for you guys to get to know me a little bit more. And I am joined by Rihanna. She is someone that you may have met before, but if you haven't before, yeah, this is your first time. Rihanna is someone who doesn't like to be in front of the camera because she's the producer behind the camera. But I told her you must come onto the camera. Can you guys see why? We need her. How you doing, Rihanna?
I am good.
Yeah?
Excited to be back.
Yeah. Welcome back.
A little bit nervous, but
You
it
don't
is
need
what it is. But yeah, this is mainly about you. It's not about me, so it's absolutely fine. So we're going to get started.
Okay.
And it is What Nyasha Thinks, where we get to know your thoughts and opinions on topics and things happening in pop culture. So I'm going to start off with award shows and recognition.
Yeah.
So we just had award show season where we had the Grammys, the BET Awards, even the Oscars were making headlines. And we have artists that are known for boycotting the awards.
Yeah.
People like The Weeknd and Nicki Minaj have kicked up quite a fuss in tabloids and in the news about how they feel about award shows. So I wanted to ask you, what do you think of award shows? Do you think they still hold the weight in 2025 or have they lost relevance?
Oh my gosh. I don't think awards shows still hold the same weight they used to. Like back in the day. I think back in the day, it was like, oh my gosh, I have this award. Like, not to say though that they're not as important as they should be or they are. There's still that weight, man. Like if someone has won a Grammy, they're feeling like they're like, Grammy
Top of the
award,
world.
Yeah, they feel on top of the world, but also it opens up so many different
Of course.
opportunities for them. And then for people like who are in my position as media, sometimes when we're then referring to them, Grammy award winning,
yeah.
BAFTA winner, Emmy winner. So it still has, its place.
It holds some weight.
It holds some weight, but not the same anymore. And you want to know why?
Why?
There's many reasons. I personally think that one of the reasons is social media. Like social media has enabled people to still get their flowers because there are some incredibly talented people who don't get recognized as they should. But, the majority of people, I would say audiences, they know, you know what, this person, they deserve it. But also sometimes they're the ones who are advocating for them, like, it should have gone to this person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not talking about a Kanye and Taylor Swift moment.
No, but we've had situations with like Adele. Adele won a Grammy, I believe, once. And she said, actually, like, I'm so happy, but Beyonce. This should have been Beyonce.
Yeah.
And times like that are really important and
Yeah.
they hold a lot of significance. People refer back to that today. So I completely get where you're coming from.
Yeah. But also, I don't think that we should give them too much weight. Just because you as an artist, if I now decide to speak to people who are in the creative industry or even people because another thing that I also get invited to sometimes is actually professional, like business awards sometimes. Just because you don't get recognized doesn't mean you're not doing well.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean some of them are actually procured.
Yeah.
This person may have this award, but guess what? They actually had to pay
To get
in
that.
order for them to get it. So then it's like, did you really win though? I don't think so.
So would you then say that you think public opinion holds a bit more weight over awards currently?
I think I would be wrong if I said yes. And the reason why I say that is because they both hold some significance. And also it depends on who you are and it depends on what you place importance on. There are some authentic musicians, for example, if we just take music, who are like, hey, I am underground, I am on the beaten track, whatever the phrase is, and I have my set people who will listen to me and they love me, they support me wherever I go. And for them, that's the most important thing.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I just think it all depends on the person, the individual.
Okay, amazing. So I want to move on to our next topic, which is cancel culture and accountability. So we've seen public figures be cancelled over resurfaced tweets and clips over the years, and some people think that it's necessary as a part of taking accountability to be cancelled and have to go back in your cage and think about what you've done.
Go to the
think about
corner.
what you've done. But some people are saying cancel culture's gone too far.
Yeah. Hey, I hope you are enjoying this episode of With Nyasha Michelle, but I did have to interrupt you a little bit to remind you, are you subscribed? I know you're enjoying the content, so make sure that you subscribe, but also don't forget to like, share, and comment. Put something in the comments there. What's your favorite bits? What's the bits that you don't like? Who do you want to see me talk to next? All right, you can go back now.
Do you think cancel culture is as powerful now as it was a few years ago?
Oh my gosh.
And do you think it's necessary, or can we deal with things differently?
Gosh, this one is a tough one because there are some people who do need to be cancelled.
Mm-hmm.
There are sometimes when people have said things or done things or tweeted things that are just like, no, it's not okay for you to have said that. And there's no way you're going to come to me and say, oh, no, I said that. I typed that racist word because I was at I should have known that
I was ignorant. I was in a bad mood. I didn't know it was offensive. People come up with a range of excuses for things that are very clearly wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. I think sometimes some people you just need to be cancelled. With having said that, though, this is a big but. We can't forget humanity. Like, we cannot forget kindness. So if I take the example of a parent and a child, sometimes your kid's gonna annoy you and they're gonna do things that you actually will you may even defend your child and be like, my child will never do that, and then you realize that they actually did that. And in that moment, the best thing for you to do is to discipline your child. Doesn't mean you hate them. Do you know what I mean? Discipline that child, whatever that looks like, do it. And then hopefully they come back having learned, and then, keep doing it until, they learn. So I'm essentially just saying that if we cancel people, I am all for, if the person has done something that is wrong, we should be open enough to kind of challenge them and be like, that was not okay. But I do not condone at all abuse of people. I do not condone us saying, the abusive rhetoric and just essentially bullying people.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, none of us are perfect.
Yeah.
If you went to speak to some of my family, like some of my close friends, they will tell you, oh, child, Nyasha's done this, or she said this, or she said that, but they still love me. They're still with me. They've shown me grace. So that's what I think we need to kind of think about in this life. It's not easy because people really prefer to hate and to say a lot of comments, but yeah.
I think it's really interesting that you use an example in relation to yourself and your family, or in relation to a mother and their child, because those are relationships that are like in real life.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the time you find with cancel culture that it's like parasocial relationships. Is you think you know a celebrity and then they say something and you're like, oh my gosh, I thought I knew you. I thought I knew your heart. I thought you wasn't like that.
That's where the problem is.
And that sometimes is where the problem lies. It's that you don't actually know the people online. And yes, everyone can make a mistake. And there is a line between being held accountable and bullying. But also sometimes it's just you don't actually know that person well as you thought. And a lot of the time people in the media put on a persona because they know what's socially acceptable and what's not. So they might say things and mean what they say. They might have been like, no, I said that. But because of the reception, they're like, okay, no, that's wrong. So yeah, I think it's a very interesting topic.
This is, before you carry on, I have a little anecdote. It is not related to cancel culture, but it is related to when people say something for the masses, for social media to look better, but they genuinely don't mean it. Okay, let's rewind back to 2020. George Floyd is murdered. Yeah? George Floyd is murdered, and there's an uproar across the world, rightly so. In the UK, there was, we felt it. We felt the pain and the hurt. And all these companies now start saying, we stand with George Floyd and with black people, and we're going to do this and this and that for diversity. And there were certain professionals who came out and they were like, oh, I'm so alarmed to find out this is what's happening to my black colleagues. I am opening up my door, my email, my inbox to all these different people.
Yeah, here my door's always open.
Girl, there is someone within my industry who made that this incredible spiel, whatever. And I was like, oh, great. Because I'd actually interacted with this person once or twice. But they dope at what they do. So I was like, yeah, and it's a woman. And I was like, okay, cool. Let me, get in there, because this person has publicly made this whole soliloquy, Ask me if anything came out of that. Nothing. So that's another thing, when you're saying like you genuinely don't know these people, and some people just say things for like sometimes when people apologize, they don't mean it.
Yeah.
They don't care. And I don't know why I always remember that encounter. I have nothing against the person, but I was just like, you know what? You showed me yourself.
Yeah.
And you genuinely didn't mean what you said.
Yeah, I think it sometimes becomes apparent that like people just say things for image. They want to be perceived a certain way online, but it's not true to their character.
No.
And I think that's a really big example of that.
Yeah.
As a journalist, I was wondering, do you think cancel culture has changed the way that journalists report on public figures?
Oh my gosh. Where did you get these questions?
I wrote them.
Girl. Okay, that was good. Yes, girl. Wow. One of the reasons why I also laugh is because recently a journalist friend of mine, she is an incredible journalist, and she was she put in her stories about how someone said that journalists don't have in fact the person said we don't have real journalists anymore because everyone is just asking questions for the sake of like social media or whatever, and she just was explaining how she utterly disagreed with that. So that's why this made me laugh. I want to be kind to my people.
Kind but fair.
Kind but fair. No, I don't. If someone's a real journalist, they're going to ask the questions.
Okay.
But also at the same time, something that I would like to say to the public is that you also have to remember, if you're judging journalists, please have a consideration of the fact that these people have employers, and there is also only so much you can talk about in a particular interview.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying the employers necessarily are saying you can only say this, but it just means that you have editorial standards. There's so much that goes on in the background that we may not be able to cover everything, and also there may just be one thing that we're focused on that we have to kind of like, I guess, just cover. And essentially, all I'll just say is if you think that this journalist you watch or you listen to is not doing the real deal, find another one.
Yeah, it's true.
Find another one, Sha.
Someone will ask the question.
Someone will ask the question. And if they don't, you just slide in the DM and ask the question you want.
That's one way of doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is our final one. And it's about fashion. As a lovely, stylish lady yourself,
Hey.
fashion is a huge part of your day-to-day life and what you do. And I wanted to ask you a couple of things about what your opinions are on fashion.
Okay.
So, what is your biggest fashion red flag?
Oh. Girl. Don't ask me those questions. Let me think. Wisdom, please come. Because
I feel like something came to mind, but you just don't.
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it because I feel like some people might think it's like me being like, for lack of a better word, just being mean and policing people's bodies.
Well, I think like any of the questions, the answers are subjective. It's everybody has an opinion, and everyone's is probably going to be a little bit different. But the whole point is this is what Nyasha thinks.
Yeah.
So let me know what you think.
Well, let me go back to it. All right, cool. I just think a fashion red flag is not wearing something that doesn't look good on you.
Okay.
Yeah, but then there we go. You know, and the reason why I stayed safe with that
the
one,
way you worded it, it was very,
like,
like you're giving us something, but not a lot.
You know what, guys? If you want me to expand on that, put in the comments. Then I'll expand on it, like genuinely, because it genuinely is something that I am thinking about. But also at the same time, I'm conscious because I don't want people to be in a space where they feel like, oh, you're policing certain people's bodies or whatever. And then also at the same time, I also kind of don't care. I do care, but I also kind of don't care. If a person wants to dress like this, let them do that. But I do know that I have a preference. And yeah.
Okay. Then on the flip side,
Yeah.
what's your biggest fashion green flag?
Fashion green flag. friend, you were just bigging me up when you said me and fashion. We like this. Honestly, I like try to scramble things together. But I do like fashion. Fashion green flag is looking elegant.
Okay.
Yeah. I really like people who look expensive.
Okay.
You know, like I've spent
You like
time.
a classy vibe.
Yeah. I have spent time in Monaco. Yeah. I've spent time in South of France. When you see money,
Yeah.
When you see money,
you know
girl,
money, like
like
the
when you
money's
see-
there.
Like the money's there. Like these people don't. I'm not just saying it's just people in Monaco, just people in South of France, but like they're an example. Those spaces are spaces that I'm just been like, oh my god. When you go into the buildings, when you go into the spaces, when you see the decor, etc. Like everything just comes all together. You know what I mean?
I would say I agree. I think that it's really nice when someone carries themselves with like confidence and they're classy and elegant. I would say that you can have personal style and mix elegance into it in a range of different ways.
Yeah.
Even though you found it in Monaco, you can probably find it everywhere.
You can.
You probably can find it everywhere. And luxury is different depending on the person.
That's true.
So thank you so much for sharing your opinion.
You're welcome. Don't put me on the spot next time.
Nyasha thinks. We are going to do another one.
We are.
So prepare yourself.
I will. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Rihanna, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We are going to do more of these. If you guys have got any questions that you think Rihanna should add onto that paper, make sure you put them in the comments and we will try and add them. Don't give me anything too hard. But if you do want to get to know me more, I suppose this is a great way to do it. Thank you so much for watching the podcast. Don't forget, watch, subscribe, listen, share it with everybody with Nyasha Michelle on all your podcast platforms. And I will see you guys next time.
Bye.